What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Social Sig vlog. Today's date is Wednesday, April 2nd of 2025, and I am just getting over my post-tour sickness. Just got back from our 9-day show run with Pretoria on Sunday. And I feel like even just talking out loud right now, my head has a bunch of congestion. But holy guacamole, it's been a month over here at Social Sig HQ. But firstly, I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting, particularly when the van broke down and we needed we sent out a Venmo link for any additional support with that, and getting a van rental heading down to South by Southwest. That was a whole thing. Came back, bought a new van the Monday before leaving for tour with Pretoria. And just coming out to the shows. It's been like, this East Coast tour was, I guess, just deemed super successful. So I can't thank you guys so much for coming out to the shows. Pretoria, those boys are a bunch of sweethearts. It was really cool to get to know them over the span of 9 shows in a row. And just seeing all the different cities. I mean, Charlotte was the only city I've never been to before. Excuse me. Crab Cake, for one, is happy that I'm home back in Milwaukee here. Just kind of wanted to give a nice post-tour update. I think I gave you guys a post South by Southwest update, but man, this month has been moving by so fast. I guess it's already April somehow. And yeah, just the past month of doing helping my buddy Josh move out to Denver at the beginning of March, and then running down to South by Southwest, and then prepping and gearing for the tour with Pretoria. It's just been like, I can't believe it's all over. It's kind of bittersweet. It was so much fun. Felt like a lot of momentum with just Social Sig in general, and Lasso put out my first single of the new album about like the week of leaving for the East Coast tour. So yeah, just a lot of good momentum and a lot of cool cards in play, and it feels very good. But now it's kind of back to the recording studio, so to speak, of just working on finishing up the album, getting that done by end of May/June. Got some shows coming up here in, I guess, one in April, and then a few more in June, and then kind of hitting the ground running for the album release show in September, and then a / album release, and then a tour. Gonna do a southern / western tour of the United States. Crab Cake is so funny. This October and November. So that's kind of what's up next for me. But yeah, I guess a nice tour recap. Milwaukee was a great send-off show at Falcon Bowl. It was Secret Menu, Pretoria, and then we headlined that one. Second time playing at Falcon Bowl, and love that room a lot. Just it feels super great to have the community come out and send us on our way. One thing I noticed that for myself, like, it was an awesome show, and just like, I guess the post-show feelings of a normal Milwaukee show are always like, I don't know, it just felt different knowing that I had 8 more shows to go following that show. So it was kind of like felt like more of a marathon than a sprint, so to speak. Just having the dates out in front of us. I didn't really trust the new van yet, so I still had to gain that trust with the new van. Her name is Sandy, by the way. But yeah, then headed over to Grand Rapids after the Milwaukee show. Also just wanted to give a shout out to my band, Kai, Eli, Isaac, and then also Michael, my cousin, who did video and merch, and also did a part of our live show, which was super duper fun. Particularly in Lasso, there's a part in the second verse where it's like, I feel really goofy singing this right now, but it's like a troll But that's definitely going to be incorporated for every single live show in the future when we play that song. It's so much fun. But yeah, thank you so much to my band, the guys coming on the road with me. It felt really, really solid and fun to have them out with me. Haven't really done a full band tour since the first time headed out east. Did pretty much south, western, and then the East Coast tour, all solo, which are a blast with Crab Cake and Sheila. It's just so much fun with the guys to give that full band feel. So in the future, I'm kind of scheming, like having a good balance between like the solo tours that are a little bit lengthier, but definitely like twice a year, I would love to have like a full band run of shows, which is just too much fun. So, and just, it's a lot of fun to rock out with the full band, of course. But yeah, headed over to Grand Rapids. I was like eyeing up all my dashboard stuff. Like I had a tire pressure light that just kept popping on, but turns out I think it's just a faulty read. But yeah, the van was running good. So the whole time, other than in New York, which I'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, got to Grand Rapids. It was basically like 20 tickets away from the sellout show when we got there, which was so cool. Pretoria, who we were on tour with, they're from Grand Rapids, so it was kind of like their homecoming show. Played with a band called Cal and Red, who's from it's like a brother duo from Grand Rapids. Those dudes are super sweet. Really cool to meet those guys. And then yeah, just played our freaking rockin' set to basically a sold out crowd of 400 plus people. 98% of them have never seen us before or heard of us. And we just rocked out. It's just so fun playing in front of crowds that don't really know who we are, and kind of winning them over in a way. But man, we were like signing autographs and sold a bunch of merch. We just had an awesome night, and it's super pumped to go back to Grand Rapids. Freaking love that city. It's like a mini Milwaukee. Stopped at Two Beards Deli, which is a deli right down the street from the venue. Went there last time. I got this tuna melt. It's so good. So yeah, lots of love for Grand Rapids. Drove back after the show, and I did pretty much like 85% of the driving all of tour, which I'm pretty much okay with. I think it's just got a weird thing where I don't know, new van. I was a little bit nervous with that, but then also just like, I don't know, maybe I have trust issues or something, but I'm such a bad backseat driver. Isaac drove a little bit, and so did Kai towards the end, but yeah, I drove back from us all back to Chicago, where we were staying at Michael's place in Chicago for the next show, which was in Chicago. And we sold so much merch in Grand Rapids that I decided to drive back that next morning to Milwaukee to my house and grab some more merch. I'm just realized how funny Crab Cake looks right now. He's never really looking at the camera like this. Drove back to Milwaukee. I was super tired already. Day number 3. Came back up here, got some more t-shirts, said hey to Sheila at work, and then drove back down to Chicago, made the load-in at Shuba's, which is a venue I've always wanted to play at. That was kind of a full circle moment. I've seen Briston Maroney play there before in like 2019, and he's a huge inspo of mine. So that was really cool. A bunch of friends I haven't seen in a while came out to the show. So really solid Chicago show at Shuba's. And then the next day, got back to Michael's. Shout out Michael's roommates for cooking us up some chicken legs and brats. I think I had the best brat I've ever had in my life. Shout out Jackson for chefing it up. Slept at Michael's place. The next day, woke up at like 6 a.m. and started to drive for Pittsburgh, where we had a show in Greensburg, which is 30 minutes east of Pittsburgh. It was this really cool art gallery, and played with the bands Ejector Crab and Jay, as well as Pretoria, of course. And all the bands there were super friendly and nice, like really cool. Like, it was kind of a cool moment because Jay just reached out to the Social Sig Instagram a while back and was like, hey, if you guys are ever coming through, like, let's play a show together. And we're like, well, actually, we're coming through, like, in March if you guys want to play with us. And they were super down for that. And then Ejector Crab, those dudes were just fans of Pretoria and wanted to play, or just asked if they could play a show with them, and that just kind of lined up. So just a really good vibes for a Monday night show. Like, not the most like packed out show, but like honestly one of the most fun. We were just dancing. Everyone was in silly moods. Like, Greensburg was pretty random, like mining city, but like never thought I'd be in Greensburg, Pennsylvania having a show. But yeah, everyone there was super nice. Yeah, definitely would swing through again for sure. Green Beacon Gallery was the place we played. And then stayed in a hotel that night. Got some Domino's before bed. That was such a good move. And then the next morning we drove out to New York, where getting into New York was kind of just like I don't know. I love New York so much. I love Manhattan, but like getting through Manhattan and to Brooklyn where the show was, it was just very stressful. Just the whole thing. Loaded in all of our gear. We got some food. Well, checked into the hotel, which was a block away from the venue. Loaded in our gear to the venue. And then we got some food. I think we were all kind of hangry. Or at least I was a little hangry. Just like... a little stressed out, I guess, from the drive-in, but got back to the venue, and then we couldn't find Isaac's pedal board, which was a whole nother thing on top of just feeling stressed out, but like, couldn't find his pedal board. We thought maybe it was at the venue. We thought we brought it in, but we weren't sure. So I messaged like everyone from the Pittsburgh venue if they've seen it, didn't see a reply. Basically played the show with Pretoria. Shout out Trevor of Pretoria, let us use his pedal board. Yeah, that was just the whole thing. We were just like kind of like frazzled that we couldn't find the pedal board. Had a really good show in New York. Saw a bunch of friends. My cousin came and her husband, and just some longtime homies who have come to the New York shows in the past. So didn't get a whole good chance to explore Brooklyn as much as we have in the past, but like had a good show. Got some free parking too by the hotel, and then left the next day. But because we were looking in the van for Isaac's pedal board, I mistakenly turned on the van light and accidentally left it on. So the next morning, got to the van. There was like construction going on the train, like above everything, and it was just super loud and kind of annoying. I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to paint the picture, but it was just stressful. And then got into New York and, got to the van, tried to start the van. It wouldn't start. The battery was dead. Luckily, Kai brought this like battery starter pit kit that's like this big. It looks like a phone. And it worked, thank God. We got out of New York. Got some IHOP that was way too expensive. I feel like I'm kind of saying all the negative stuff, but this is probably the most stressful part of the whole tour. But other than these things, we had so much fun. And then got some IHOP that was way too expensive. It was like $30 a guy for some reason. And then in Staten Island. And then got to Philly, where in the past, Philly shows, or Philadelphia isn't my favorite city. I've just kind of had some bad experiences in Philadelphia. But I was determined to have a good experience in Philadelphia this time around. I was super, like, just really trying to manifest a good Philly show. So we got to the venue, parked there, and it was really chill. Like, all the people around there were really friendly. We went to a beer garden around Yards, or it was called Yards Brewery. And then turns out, so I feel like I'm jumping around, and thanks for sticking with me if you are, but in New York, my buddy Anthony called me, who normally plays keys with us sometimes, but his other band was doing a show the following Friday in New York. and he called me while we were in New York. And the plan initially was that they were gonna come. Him and his band were gonna drive to our Philly show, and just catch our set and just hang out because they wanted to get in a few days early. So he called me and he's like, "Hey, you guys still gonna be playing in Philly tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yes." Blah blah blah. We lost Isaac's pedal board. It might still be in Pittsburgh. And he's like, "Oh, dude, we're driving through Pittsburgh tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it'd be so crazy if they had it." So rewind or fast forward, we're in Philadelphia, just trying to figure out the whole pedal board thing, like messaging the venue. Couldn't get a hold of them for a while, but then they responded and they said, "Yes, we have his pedal board." So I called Anthony and let him know that it was in Greensburg, and he's like, "Got it, like we'll go and pick it up and bring it to your show in Philly." So just hung out that day in Philadelphia, and then got loaded in the venue, which was like one of the coolest venues, Kung Fu Necktie. It's just one of those bars. It's like a dive bar, but like has a bunch of stuff everywhere that all kind of like nothing matches, but it all matches together in a weird way. The green room was super nice. Took a nap on the couch. We got some tacos / coffee at the place across the street. That was really good. And then, had a great show in Philly. Unfortunately, Anthony and the guys didn't make it to our set because we went second. It was a band called Pink Blush. Then we went, and then a guy named Diet Lemon, and then Pretoria. Super solid Philly show. The Taxmen, Anthony's band, they showed up like midway through Pretoria's set. So like we were on the dance floor, like having a good time. And then once they came, Anthony like arrived with the pedal board, and we were like, "Yeah, let's go." And that was quite a party. So I hung out with those guys, got to DC that night, and then went to, I think Sheila's home. So we left Philly, and then we got into DC, where we're staying with my good friends Will and Jack and Nate of Staring Spaces, and we had a show on that Thursday, or the following day, at a place called Corey House Tavern. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit because Sheila's home now, and we're gonna go grab some food. Got to DC. It was super good to see those guys. And then I remember I remember starting to feel a little sick, but overall, pretty much the whole tour kept pretty healthy. And then the next morning was super nice outside. Michael he jogged over to the Washington Monument, and then we biked over there. Kind of checked that out. The cherry blossoms were in bloom, so checked that out. It was super pretty outside. Lots of tourists everywhere. Went to the Smithsonian of Natural History, which I was getting flashbacks of when I was there in 8th grade. Just kind of enjoyed the day. It was, like I said, really nice out. Will met us down there. And then we got some food truck food, and then biked back. Got the e-bike, which was so much fun. It's like riding a little motorcycle. And then kind of chilled out a little bit. I took another nap. I feel like this tour consisted of so many cat naps because my sleep schedule was just so messed up with just driving after shows and just kind of the momentum of tour, so to speak. And I would talk about this before too, but like the vortex of tour, like time moves so differently, especially when it's just, I don't know, just the days morph into each other from driving to a venue, playing a show, driving to another venue. It's all morphs together in one big ball of fun. Played our show in DC. Staring Spaces, they kick ass. They opened up the night. They brought like the majority of the draw because they have the best DC crowd ever. This is the third time playing DC and third time playing with those guys. So much fun. Basically sold out the show. It was like the Corey House Tavern felt like a Wisconsin dive bar. We got a free meal, which was really sweet. But it was just felt like a house show. Like people were crowded in this small space. It was a lot of fun. And then, went to bed. And then the next morning we drove out for Charlotte, which basically, yeah, spent most of the day driving. Stopped at a Waffle House. Another side quest story is that in Philly, when we were there, we found this little ball with the name. It was like a rubber ball that looked like a soccer ball with the name Augie on it. I mean, there was no child around to claim it, so we claimed it as our own. We played with it a good amount of times, and then we had it from Philly, DDC, and then on our way to Charlotte, we lost it. I was editing an Instagram post, and the guys were playing with the ball. Eli was throwing it against the wall, threw it over the building, and then we lost Augie forever. Yeah, he was a good ball, and so got to Charlotte, and yeah, had a really good show at Snug Harbor. Nia J was on the bill. Truthfully, we went first. The show started at 10. Really good turnout. Saw some friends that I haven't seen in a while as well. The venue felt like a Krusty Krab in a way. They were playing Nacho Libre on the screen when we got in, and the people there were all super nice. And Charlotte's a really cool city. Had zero time to explore it at all, other than the block vicinity of where we were playing. But like super clean city, and like everyone there seemed pretty chill, just like really relaxed vibes. And then played our set, and then I took a nap in the van during Nia J's set and Pretoria's. I was just running on fumes at that point. And then after Pretoria went, we loaded up, and then I drove to Asheville, where we got a hotel in Asheville. And then next day we drove to Nashville for our last show, and had a good show there. Pretty solid, cool venue, the East Room. And then checked out all like the thrift store and oddity store, some food spots around the venue, and then played Nashville. And then we drove back from Nashville to Milwaukee that night. So I drove most of it. Well, I drove like 3-ish hours, and then we stopped. Kai drove for like 3-ish hours, and then maybe he drove more. I feel like he drove way more. I don't remember, but it was all a blur, and then I drove us home. So we got home on Sunday morning around like 9:30, which was just such a time, like basically pulled an all-nighter, and then from the whole majority of tour, yeah, that's basically how a tour went, and made so many more good connections, and lots of new fans came out. So thank you guys if you caught a show, local or even out east. Like, thank you guys so much. It's been so much fun. I think I gotta wrap this up because I think Kai is here and he's picking up his water bottle / other stuff. So thank you guys so much for supporting Social Sig. More stuff coming. And gonna wrap this up. Love you guys, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.